Hello, my name's Gavin, and this is Genre Books, and I'm going to struggle today because your answer can't be books. This is a tag created by BookBuds, and I was tagged by Book Chat with Pat. There are 6 prompts. Prompt number 1, what is something that you own way too many of other than books? I will be surprising absolutely no one by revealing I'm a Doctor Who fan, and I have all the classic series DVDs, or the DVDs for all of the classic series episodes that exist. Some people may think that's way too many. I think I'm still 100 short because we've got to find those missing episodes. We're not going to find those missing episodes, they're gone, but it's nice to dream. Prompt number 2, what's something that you do for fun that isn't reading a book? I write music, and I haven't done any for a year or so, but I do have some on Spotify and various other outlets. My intro music is a little clip of a track, and I've used them on a couple of book haul videos, which is cheaper than paying someone else to do it. Prompt number 3, what is something that is special or important on your nightstand that isn't a book? On my bedside table is absolutely barren, except for sometimes a book, and an alarm clock. So there you go, an alarm clock is pretty important. I need to get up in the mornings. Prompt number 4, what's something that you buy at a bookstore other than books? There most oftentimes is nothing I buy at a bookstore except for books. I'll buy a bag maybe to put books in. I don't go to many famous or landmark bookshops, but there is one from a few years ago that we went to that I think we bought 2 things in that were not books, and that is Barter Books in Alnwick in Northumberland. Barter Books is a converted train station, and the bookshelves, of which there are many, are well spaced out in a space where the trains would come in. The cafe is the old waiting room. Their claim to fame is that when they were making the bookshop out of the old train station, that they were going through some of the old pieces of the station, including they found a drawer with lots of posters in it from the Second World War. Now there were 3 posters, one of which was never used during the war, and this was a poster that was to be used once the invasion from Germany had happened, and was just the message to keep calm and carry on. So we bought a fridge magnet. That's a very long-winded way of saying that there's not a lot we buy in bookshops other than books. Although in that bookshop, it's a little bit dirty, so bear with me, but bought a tea towel. Prompt number 5, what's a fun gift that you've received that isn't books? I refer you to my Doctor Who DVD answer. You might not think those Doctor Who DVDs are fun, but not only are the serials fun, but what's important about these DVDs is all of the value added material, the VAM, in those little documentaries where they've found all the old production staff and interviewed them about the making of the show, where they found clips from the BBC archive and advertising the show as it was coming out in the 70s and 60s. As I said before, many of the episodes, the early episodes, were deleted. This is because they needed the tapes, and this was at a time where you couldn't repeat shows, or you had to pay the actors again. There was no media to resell shows to the public. There's no videotapes, there's no DVDs. All they were doing was taking up space. No one was ever going to be interested in them after a few years. That's another reason I've got all the copies upstairs. I don't want them to delete anything again. If they do delete it, I've got the backup. Prompt number 6. What's a YouTube channel that you watched that isn't related to books? I don't have many of these, but there are a few. I like the Gresham College videos. Usually some interesting lectures there. I like Mars Needs Movies, which is currently going through an exploration of every science fiction movie ever made. They're fairly comprehensive, and I think they're up to 1937 at the moment, so there's still some way to go. The Sleep Core channel is quite fun in terms of retro futurism and lots of old clips of programs and product demonstrations from the 50s and 60s about how the life was going to be in the year 2000. I occasionally also enjoy the channel Mega Video Zimbabwe. So I used to live there when I was a child, and if I find a video from the early 80s, then I'll give that a quick watch. But other than that, there's not a wealth of stuff I watch on YouTube that isn't BookTube related. So there you go. It's a short tag because I'm, focused on books, almost to the exclusion of everything else. But this is a tag that I believe is also a couple of years old, so I will check who has and who has not done it before I tag them. But once I do, you're below the line there. So until the next video, bye.